Rumble. Come on, there we go. Hello, good afternoon, welcome to This Day in History, aka TDH. I am Xander, and you, viewer, are you? Thank you so much for coming in and joining us. Today, we will be joined by the Golden Moon here shortly. Today is, of course, Moon's Day, aka Monday, May 11th, 2026. This show is about interesting and important events that happened today throughout the annals of recorded history. You know, we have a 31-page document to go through today. So, yeah, let's get into it. Before we start, though, if we, we've been having some internet problems, so if we suddenly go offline, no worries. We will do the entire show and then upload it when we can, so hang tight if anything goes dark. Anyway, let's get into this show today, shall we? Starting us off in the year 330, the newly built city of Constantinople, or Byzantium, was dedicated to Emperor Constantine the Great, becoming the capital of the Eastern Roman Empire. Now, according to the other source, it says Constantine the Great dedicated the much expanded and rebuilt city of Byzantium, changing its name to New Rome, and declaring it the new capital of the Eastern Roman Empire. Check this out. This is a magnificent picture right there. It's telling me to image search this, so I'm going to do that. So that way, well, my internet's being a real poop, so I'm not sure if it's even... There we go. It's taking its time to load and everything, so yeah. Once again, pardon the lag and everything. I just wanted to showcase some of these cool photos, if it'll load. So, yeah, check this out. So, well, you know what? It's going to take its time, so screw that. Moving on up to 868, the Diamond Sutra, the world's oldest surviving and dated printed book, was printed in Chinese and made into a scroll. So this is when it happened. Other source says a copy of the Diamond Sutra was printed in China, making it the oldest known dated printed book. And that's awesome. I'm going to image search this because I was thinking about putting this in the actual thumbnail, but I mean it's such a weird image to put in there. Like it's a strange dimension and it's really busy, but but that's awesome. Like look at this scroll. There it is right there. The Diamond Sutra. Moving on up, what else we got here? 912. Now, this is no longer on either source, so this might be erroneous, but it says here Alexander became emperor of the Byzantine Empire. I don't remember doing that, but cool. 973. Edgar, an Anglo-Saxon king of England, and his consort Alfred were crowned at Bath on Whit Sunday. Possibly a second crowning, as already ruled for 14 years. So, according to the other source here, it says, in the first coronation ceremony ever held for an English monarch, Edgar the Peaceful was crowned King of England, having ruled since 959 AD. His wife, Alfred, was crowned Queen, the first recorded coronation of a queen in England, or for a queen in England. So, then we have 975. Elfrida, consort of King Edgar, was crowned Queen of England at Bath Abbey, first coronation of a Saxon queen. So we have a discrepancy here. Was it 973 or 975? That's a wonder, because according to other source, it says them both, but this one says 2 years after it. So. If anybody wants to find out the semantic, let us know in the comment section what you find. 1189, Holy Roman Emperor Frederick I Barbarossa and 100,000 Crusaders departed Regensburg for the Third Crusade. 1258, Louis IX of France and James I of Aragon signed the Treaty of Corbeil, renouncing claims of feudal overlordship in one another's territories and separating the House of Barcelona from the politics of France. 1310, 54 members of the Knights Templar were burned at the stake in France for being heretics. And they were not really heretics. The thing was, the church owed the Knights Templar so much money from all the Crusades that rather than actually paying them, they just called them heretics or whatever, and then they killed them all. So that's how they repaid their debt. So, yeah, never trust the church. What else do we got here? 1421, Jews were expelled from Styria, Austria. Here we go again. Why does this keep happening to the Jews? Every single day, there's at least one or two articles about Jews being expelled, Jews being killed, something happening to Jews. It literally every single day there's something, and I don't think that every single time people just woke up one morning and just out of nowhere started to hate the Jews. Something's going on that we don't know, that we're not allowed to be talking about for whatever reason. Now, this other article here is no longer on either source as well, so it might also be erroneous. Actually, no, we covered this yesterday, so that's probably why. 1502, Christopher Columbus left on his fourth and last voyage. So, as I said, we did cover that yesterday. 1560, the Ottoman naval forces inflicted a defeat on a Spanish fleet in the Battle of Djerba. This marked the high point of Ottoman naval dominance in the Mediterranean, which started declining 5 years later after the failed siege of Malta. 1611, earlier known performance of Shakespeare's comedy The Winter's Tale at the Globe Theatre, London, recorded by Simon Forman. Is this earlier or earliest? You know, we've caught a lot of spelling errors from our primary source. You know, grammatical fallacies, inaccuracies, you know, things like that. So I just wonder, did they mean earlier or did they mean earliest? 1625, peasants besiege Frankenberg estate in Upper Austria. Go peasants! 1678, French Admiral Jean d'Estrées' naval fleet ran aground on Avis Islands, Curaçao, ending French control and ushering in an age of piracy in the Caribbean. So this is when it started, in 1678. Interesting. So yeah, it says other source, well actually no, this is, So these are two different articles. That's interesting. So... 1678, French conquering fleet at Curaçao killed 1,200 people. Yikes. 1713, during the Great Northern War, after losing the Battle of Helsinki to the Russians, the Swedish and Finnish troops burnt the entire city so that it would not remain intact in the hands of the Russians. 1749, British Parliament accepted the Consolidation Act to reorganize the Royal Navy. I'm going to do a surface level scratch of this article really quick. We're not yet to the Waltz, but we'll get there. Come on, load. Navy Act of 1748. Okay, I think this is the same one. Consolidation Act? It's not telling me that. So, this is, also known as 1748. So, this is telling me, it's not telling me anything more about this. Like what does it do? I guess we can go here. Navy Act, you know what, let's use a different link really quick. If it's going to load. Oh, here we go. Navy Act of 1748, so let's scroll up here, 1747. An act passed, well, this is not even the right one, so this is probably wrong. I don't know. If anyone can figure out more about this, let us know in the comment section. Moving on up to 1751, Pennsylvania Hospital was founded in Philadelphia by Dr. Thomas Bond and Benjamin Franklin. In Philadelphia, yes. 1752, the first U.S. fire insurance policy was issued in Philadelphia. Cool. 1792, Columbia River was discovered and named by U.S. Captain Robert Gray. You know, Robert Gray commanded the first expedition to sail into the Columbia River. 1800, French naturalist Jean-Baptiste Lamarck gave his first lecture outlining his theories of evolution at the Muséum National d'Histoire Naturelle in Paris-France. Oh, you know, the Museum of Natural History in Paris, France, I guess, in English. 1812, British Prime Minister Spencer Perceval was assassinated by John Bellingham in the lobby of the House of Commons in London. Ironically, descendants of both latter stand for the same seat in Parliament at the same time, but neither won. That's interesting. Welcome to the show.
Ah, thank you.
Yeah, you came just in time for the waltz. In 1812, it was introduced into English ballrooms. Some observers considered it disgusting and immoral. Yeah.
That was about right.
Yeah.
Welcome, Elvis Presley, at another time.
I mean, like all I can say is about all the prudish people in the 50s who turned their nose up at things like rock and roll and Elvis Presley and everything.
That's what I'm saying.
You know, look at the world around you. Maybe they had a point.
Yeah.
Maybe we degenerated ourselves, you know, in ways we can't even understand. So, but yeah. The waltz is an elegant, nearly universal dance, perfect for a wedding or almost any social occasion. It was introduced in England in 1874. That's weird because it started here in 1812. Introduced into English ballrooms.
And that was introduced.
This says 1874, but this says 1812.
Yeah.
So that's a lot longer than 1874. But it was used. It was in 1922 that it became as fashionable as tango. Waltz's steps have already undergone change and improvements as well as a result of this. Many more variations became possible. It is also considered by some as, quote, mother of present-day dances and the backbone the backbone dance, end quote, of the ballroom. It is a smooth, progressive dance that travels around the line of dance, characterized by its rise and fall action. You know, the waltz. So
yeah.
1813. In Australia, William Lawson, Gregory Bloxon, and William Wentworth led an expedition westwards from Sydney. The route opened up inland Australia for continued expansion throughout the 19th century. So other source says William Lawson, Gregory Bloxon, and William Wentworth discovered a route across the Blue Mountains, opening up inland Australia to settlement. Yeah, it's awesome.
That's pretty damn big.
Yeah, it is. You are correct. The continent of Australia is pretty damn big. But yeah, I wanted to do an image search just to show. Like, I think this is the map of them.
It looks like.
Oh, it says, Wentworth Falls. I guess it's a waterfall, maybe.
Yeah.
So, I thought it was pointing out where they died on their expedition.
Oh, wow.
Well, some maps do that. So,
yeah.
1816, the American Bible Society formed in New York. All right. 4 years later, we have the launch of the HMS Beagle, the ship that would later take a young Charles Darwin on this famous scientific voyage that would lead to, evolution and all that
Did he
jazz.
stop at the Galapagos, and that's where he really...
Correct. Yeah, well, like, from all the different...
Really saw species that hadn't evolved.
Well, no.
Were really different there.
Well, no, it wasn't that they weren't evolved. It's that they were specialized. Like
because it was isolated.
It all... Well, no. What started... Charles Darwin's whole thing on evolution was bird beaks. Like, if it's long and thin, like, because he looked at their beaks. Some beaks were developed to crush nuts. Some beaks were developed to eat insects. Some beaks were developed to dig in the ground. Yeah, well, long, thin beaks, for nectar and everything. Yeah. So he discovered all these different, almost as if they were made for each other. But then, like, you're probably right to some extent. Like, he saw, like, the same species, but different, and then, like, he started figuring out, like, different evolutions and everything. 1833, the Lady of the Lake struck an iceberg and sank in the North Atlantic, killing 215 people.
Oh, my goodness. What was this now?
Just a ship.
Oh, it didn't say the name?
Lady of the Lake.
Okay.
No. Now,
should have stayed on the lake.
Well, no, the name of the ship is Lady of the Lake.
I know.
Yeah.
Should have stayed on the lake.
I guess so, yeah. A secondary source, which for some reason it was deleted, it says the Lady of the Lake struck an iceberg off Newfoundland and sank with a loss of up to 265 passengers and crew. Now, up to. So we have a death discrepancy here. 215 up to 265. 1846, President James K. Polk asked for a declaration of war against Mexico, starting the Mexican-American War. Now, this is no longer on either source, and I think that's because we already spoke about the beginning of the Mexican-American War a while ago. So this might be an incorrect article. 1850, work started on the first brick building in San Francisco. It's pretty cool.
First brick building.
Yeah.
Everything would have been wood before that.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, or adobe, made of mud.
Yeah, okay.
Something. 1857, the Indian Rebellion of 1857. Indian rebels seized Delhi from the British. Now, tell me why that article is weird.
Delhi from the British.
So I'll reread it, and this is a point you made to me. Indian Rebellion of 1857. Indian rebels seized Delhi from the British.
Okay, tell me.
They weren't called India until 100 years later.
Oh, yeah, sure.
So why are we calling them Indians? They were like the Raj or something.
Yeah, yeah.
So, 1858, Minnesota was admitted as a 32nd U.S. state. So, yeah. And that's actually just a couple years before the Civil War. I wanted to bring up this point that before actual violence, there was war lasting since basically the beginning of the founding of the United States.
Yeah,
like
fighting with the Indians.
Well, no. I'm talking about a political war.
Oh, okay.
Of South versus North.
Yeah.
Like, the South makes a territory, the North makes a territory. The South makes a state, the North makes a state. So that way they can get a one-up on each other in the House of Representatives and all that jazz. 1867, the Treaty of London was drawn, granting Luxembourg full independence and neutrality. Excellent, Luxembourg. 1875, George Charmer Zetlin pitched the first 9-inning shutout. Nice. Huh. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty late.
Yeah.
9-inning shutout. What
Well,
that means?
pretty late. In 1875, that's like the beginning of baseball.
Oh, maybe it is.
Yeah. 1878, Hodel assassination attempt by anarchist Max Hodel targeting the German Kaiser Wilhelm I. The majority, and I can't say all because, some of them did say conservative, but, I think that's just liberal propaganda. But, whenever it's an assassination attempt, the assassin or the killer, whatever, it's 9 times out of 10, they're either an anarchist, a communist, or somebody who says that they're an anti-fascist. It's always these liberal leftist people for hundreds of years. You know, like I've said this before, the Democratic Party of the United States of America is a terrorist organization because they made the Ku Klux Klan to harass and intimidate and even in some cases kill recently freed blacks from voting. And nowadays,
Ku Klux Klan was the sergeant of arms.
yeah. And now today it's the same.
short release.
Now today it's the same exact thing, except now they have BLM, Antifa, the Alphabet Mafia, otherwise known as LGBTQT community. You know, the feminists, the feminazis. You know, Antifa and everything. Like it's like history keeps screaming in our face. We got to stop. You know, giving these people any credence.
Well,
So
let's just say it this way: the bullets are going one way. Now.
absolutely, they are.
Ask now.
Yeah.
When you say why, this is only conjecture and only a part of it. So it's only a piece. But generally, conservatives are spiritual oriented with their religions or whatever, and involved in politics. The left,
They have no morals.
Politics is their religion.
Yep, and politics have no morals. So.
And there you go.
Yep. 1880s, 7 people were killed in the Musel Slow tragedy at gun battle in California. Never heard of that. So I'm just gonna do a surface level scratching. Internet is very slow. Like I noticed, like it's still working, but it's slower than normal. I've had to abandon looking up several.
I noticed that
pictures.
when I was getting on to see if we were on, it was taking forever to load up.
Yeah, for whatever reason, it's giving me. Why is this telling? It says Muscle Slow Tragedy, and then they have a picture of the golden spike. We used that yesterday.
Yeah.
That's weird. Oh.
Connecting the Continental Railroad.
Yeah, but that has nothing to do with like
No.
so that's weird. That's a weird combination. 1889, an attack upon a U.S. Army paymaster and escort resulted in the theft of over $28,000 and the award of 2 Medals of Honor. Wow. That must have been an intense attack.
Yeah.
1891, the Ostu scandal. While visiting Japan, Prince Nicholas, later Tsar Nicholas II, survived an assassination attempt. Yeah, be very careful going to other places of the world. People hate each other. 1893, Henry Desgrange established the world's first bicycle world record, traveling 35.325 kilometers or 21.95 miles an hour. So, he's really zooming. It's telling me image search this as well. I'm going to do that, but it might just not work. Because I was trying to load up a picture, but it wasn't doing it with the last article I was trying to do this on.
You're going to be limited. I don't know why, but you're going to be limited.
I think we're getting throttled because we voted wrong. I'm not sure. It says here on this day in May 11th, 1893, Henry Desgrange established the world's first bicycle, yada yada. The hour record is the record for the longest distance cycled in 1 hour on a bicycle from a stationary start. Henry was a French bicycle racer and sports journalist. He set 12 world racks. He set 12 world track cycling records. He was the first organizer of the Tour de France. Henry was born on January 31st, 1865 in Paris, France, and died on August 16th, 1940 at the age of 75.
That Tour de France is brutal.
Yeah. Well, the most brutal one was the Tour de France Germany did in 1940. 1894, American Railroad Union strike, Pullman Sleeping Car Company. Other source says 4,000 Pullman Palace Car Company workers went on a wildcat strike.
Wow.
But, over what? Pay, hours? For how long were they striking? How was it settled? Was it? Were there scabs? So, 1897, Washington Senator catcher Charlie Farrell threw out 8 attempted stealers.
Jeez.
Yeah. 1900, James J. Jeffries knocked out James J. Corbett in 23 rounds for heavyweight boxing title.
23 rounds.
That's ridiculous.
That's a man's fight there.
That is. Well, why is
They're
this guy...
sissies compared to this.
Why does this guy look like somebody from Abbott and Costello?
He looks like Costello.
Abbott or whatever?
Yeah, he looks like Costello.
Hey, Abbott.
Yeah, Costello.
Oh, okay. 1904, Andrew Carnegie donated $1.5 million to build the Peace Palace in The Hague, Netherlands, an international law administrative building and home of the Permanent Court of Arbitration. Take that with a grain of salt. Carnegie, one of the globalist elitists, all that stuff here. 1907, a derailment outside Lompoc, California, killed 32 Shriners when their chartered train jumps off the tracks at a switch near Surf Depot. Yikes.
Wow, a lompoc.
Now, what's it like a shrine? Like somebody who goes to a shrine. What's a shriner?
A Shriner is a men's club. It's
Oh,
like,
okay.
I'm trying to think of another one, but what is it? The Elks. You probably know.
Yeah,
Have
like,
you ever heard of the Elks?
yeah,
Shriners
the
are
Rotary
really-
Club.
Have you ever seen their hats that they wear? The fez. They're in a lot of parades and stuff. the
I have not.
Shriners.
No, I have not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna look
You've
up.
never seen their fez?
I know what a fez is.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, you know,
Don't you have a fez?
I wish.
I thought you did.
I love a fez. There's several hats I would absolutely love. A fez is one of them. I've never had a fez. I would love a fez. And do you know what makes a fez a fez?
It's fuzzy.
Well, no, like it's made in the Fez district of Morocco in Africa.
Okay.
And apparently, it's kind of akin to champagne. If you want real champagne,
You gotta go to Champagne.
you got to get it from Champagne, France or whatever.
Yeah.
Now, there's obviously counterfeits there, but if you want a real authentic Fez, you have to go to Fez in Morocco.
Okay.
So it's kind of the
You're
same
not gonna
thing.
get it. It's
Well,
not really-
like I saw one image pop up here, and I saw them wearing fezzes, but it's just not gonna load up. What is going on, man? There we go.
Yeah.
That's a cool fez.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a bit big for a fez, honestly.
But the Shriners are an organization.
Yeah, I understand now. 1907, the Bank of San Francisco was incorporated. Okay. 1910, Montana's Glacier National Park formed, so by an act of U.S. Congress.
Oh.
1911, the United States became a signatory to the Buenos Aires Copyright Treaty. Do you remember that treaty?
Do not.
I'm going to look it up here really quick. I was going to do that anyway to refresh the viewers' memories and everything if this loads up.
Yeah, that's the problem.
What is going on with our damn internet? The Buenos Aires Convention is an international copyright treaty signed in Buenos Aires, Argentina on August 11th, 1910, providing mutual recognition of copyrights where the work carries a notice containing a statement of reservation of rights, Article 3. This was commonly done with the phrase, all rights reserved. We know that phrase.
Yeah.
So if anybody wants to know more about the Buenos Aires Convention or Copyright Treaty, I'm going to put this in the underbar section below. Let me get the link here really quick, so that way you can continue your own path of self-education if you do so wish. But yeah, this was commonly, yada, yada, yada. This implementation varied as U.S. law only required the author and year of publishing. Copyright protection under the convention is granted for the shorter of the terms of the protecting country and the source country of the work. Rule of the shorter term, Articles 6 and 7. The rather vague nature of the requirement for a statement of reservation led to the development of longer and more legalistic wordings, which have persisted despite the developments in international copyright law. So that's pretty cool. It's international copyright law.
Yeah.
Started in Buenos Aires. That's awesome.
I'll be darned.
1917, King George V granted royal letters patent to New Zealand, establishing office of Governor General as monarch's representative in the country. 1919, Washington Senators future Baseball Hall of Fame ace Walter Johnson pitched 12 scoreless innings in a famous 0-0 duel with Jack Quinn of the New York Yankees at the Polo Grounds. Dang.
Walter Johnson is, if you're a baseball enthusiast at all, you'll know that name. He's a great pitcher.
Well, there's one of the examples to prove you right.
Yeah.
In 1919 as well, Uruguay became a signatory to the Buenos Aires Copyright Treaty. So there we go again.
They jumped on board.
Yep. 1921, Tel Aviv was the first all-Jewish municipality. That sounds kind of xenophobic and problematic, you know? Like, well, if you had an all-white community, that would be bad,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, if you have an all-black community, that's cool. All Jewish, that's cool. It seems that, white people are just getting kicked in the face. Yeah. 21, the Allied Supreme Council warned Germany to pay reparations or the entire Ruhr Valley will be occupied. Germany agreed. They had no choice.
Yeah.
And they got screwed. 1923, 10 home runs hit in Phillies' 20-14 victory over St. Louis Cardinals at the Baker Bowl in Philadelphia. That's a lot of home runs.
Bet you Walter Johnson wasn't pitching in that one.
Probably not. 25, Communist Party of Holland splits. I hope that means it left, not that its members have gotten so great it needs to be two parties. I hope it's not a mitosis splitting. 1 century ago, in 1926, airship Norge left Nye Isleman on the Norwegian island of Spitsbergen for the first air crossing of the Arctic Ocean.
Ooh.
Yeah, and I actually have a picture. No, I don't.
That's not it.
What was this?
I don't know. It's a big-ass church.
Yeah, it was something. What was this? Let me. Where's my?
You sure we got there yet?
Peace, pal. Oh, that was the one. J.P. Morgan, whatever, the rich guy. That's what he funded to build.
Oh,
So that's what that is. Okay. Here we go.
Awesome.
That's the airship.
Yeah.
So yeah. Now we're caught up. 1927, England's football team defeated Belgium 9-1. That just seems like a big discrepancy of a score there.
Soccer.
Yeah. 27 as well. Louis B. Mayer formed the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences of MGM, Metro Goldwyn Mayer.
Yeah, Metro Goldwyn Mayer.
Yeah. 28, General Electric opened the first TV station in Schenectady, New York. How do you pronounce this?
Schenectady.
Schenectady.
Like
yeah.
Schenectady. I don't even have it right, but it's close.
Yeah. 29, the first regularly scheduled TV broadcast, 3 nights per week.
What's that now?
Regularly scheduled TV broadcasts. So. 31, M. Fritz Lang's first sound film starring Peter Lorre premiered in Berlin.
Just to give you a heads up, when I was a little kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. Under 8 or 9 probably. I was over at my friend's house, and we turned on the TV like a Saturday morning, and you just have that test pattern that's on there.
Yeah, with the Indian?
Yeah.
And
so
Native
we decided to leave it on.
whatever.
We were playing in that room anyways. We wanted to see the TV come on.
Huh. Hey, that's cool, you know?
So they were off. They weren't all night by any stretch.
Yeah. 1931, Credit Anstot, Austria's largest bank, failed, beginning financial collapse of Central Europe. Yikes. Ooh. Sounds horrible. And I know that the Rothschilds are behind this to some degree. They always are. 34, we have a great Dust Bowl storm swept across the American and Canadian... Well, that's weird. American and Canadian... Canada is in America. You mean U.S. and Canadian prairies. I mean, like, I'm so tired of this accepted vernacular.
I did not know Canada had a piece of that Dust Bowl.
Well, yeah.
Obviously, 2 different sections, completely separate.
Well, it's not. No. See,
they didn't combine or anything.
No. Canada wasn't causing the Dust Bowl, but our dust was going up into there.
That isn't what it says. Read it again.
Great Dust Bowl storm swept across the U.S. and Canadian prairies, traveling as far as the East Coast.
So it swept across the Canadian prairies. Yeah,
it's a storm.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, no, that makes sense because storms don't care about borders.
Right.
But they weren't.
It's going to create dust. That's why they bring it up. I mean.
But no. What creates the dust is like the
soil.
Yes, they weren't the one. Like it was our soil causing it, but it does go over the border and affect them.
Yeah. Okay. But we were south. You know, the dust storm came from the south mainly.
Yes.
So, anyways.
I'm trying to figure out what was confusing you.
It just seems odd that they'd be getting a dust storm all the way up there.
No, it's not starting up there.
No, but it's got to be across their prairie. So wouldn't that pick up dust also?
No, I don't think like they.
So you think it's all our soil going up there?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, like, remember that fire in southeastern Canada, and it went over the border, and it was like the entire New York sky. Yeah, it's basically the same thing, just the other way.
Yeah, but we are talking down. We're talking southern states.
The wind goes north.
Yeah, mostly goes east and west, but.
Well, it says as far as the East Coast.
Yeah.
Anyway, 1937, Las Glaciares National Park was established in Patagonia, Argentina, the country's largest national park, and it was made a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1981. That's cool. I'm going to see if I can get some images of this. Yeah, it's... You know what? Nah, screw it. 39, Joseph Stalin ordered Soviet troops to invade Manchuria, resulting in a 4-month battle that inflicted heavy losses on Japan. 40, New York World's Fair reopened. Okay. 41, the first German Messerschmitt 109F was shot down above England. I'm going to try again to get this, to get pictures for this. Now it's not even going to load up Nicosia. All right, I'm done looking things up. 43, German Luftwaffe armored Hermann Göring Division in Tunisia surrendered. Its commander Colonel Joseph Schmidt escaped. Okay, so the company was named after Hermann Göring.
Okay.
It wasn't his thing. It was just named after him. So, man,
I wouldn't name something after that guy.
Well, it was German.
I understand that.
Yeah.
43 is still going on, so he's a hero then.
Yeah. So, Yeah, screw it. I really want to bring up images looking for that. I'm just going to do that in the background, in the side here. 1943, confirm I'm not a robot. Okay. Okay, well, it's not giving me a problem, so, to solve. Okay, well, while that's loading up. 1943, the U.S. 7th Division landed on Attu in the Aleutian Islands. It was the first U.S. territory recaptured. All right.
Okay.
So, and now it's working. There we go. What the hell is going on, man?
Well, they're coming tomorrow, so we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But you're not getting images.
Well, it's loaded one.
Yeah,
so.
but I mean, real slow.
Yeah. 1943, like this is from, actually no, this the primary source was edited. U.S. Army 7th Division made an amphibious landing on U.S. territory of Attu at the Aleutian Islands, which had been occupied by Japanese Imperial forces since June.
Ooh.
So almost a year.
Yeah.
The U.S. retook the island after 2 weeks of fierce battles. So, dang. And this is it's just not going to load. Screw it. 45 as well, during World War II, off the coast of Okinawa, the aircraft carrier USS Bunker Hill was hit by 2 kamikazes. And over here, you can see a hole in the deck right there.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Didn't sink.
No, it didn't. But we did talk about one of our carriers that did get sank the other day. Was that yesterday?
Yeah.
All right. Loons time.
Hey.
First night game at Boston Braves Field. Giants 5, Braves 1. So they lost. They lost at home.
What's wrong with the term Boston Braves? Anything come to mind?
Well, aren't they something else now? Or they used to be called the Bean Eaters. So
It's the what?
the Boston Bean Eaters.
That I don't know. Now it is the Atlanta Braves.
Ah, okay. 1946, United Malays National Organization was created. It's telling me to look that up, but my internet is being slower than, horrible things. 47, B.F. Goodrich announced the development of tubeless tire in Akron, Ohio.
Ah.
I don't know, man. That kind of looks like a tube to me. Like, I mean, a tire itself is a tube. So, 1947, Laos accepted the Constitution for parliamentary democracy. Great.
But I think a tubeless tire means no tube inside.
Yes, but it is a tube
Yeah.
of solid. So, 49, by a vote of 37 to 12, Israel became the 59th member of the United Nations. Should never have happened. 49 as well, Siam renamed itself Thailand. So that's something a lot of people don't realize. Like, the whole...
Siam,
the whole...
Siam, I am.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, we all know about the King and I.
Yeah.
The King of Siam.
King of Siam.
That was Thailand here.
Thailand.
51, U.S. engineer Jay Forrester applied for a patent for computer core memory. All right. 53, a tornado killed 114 in Waco, Texas, $39 million in damages. Yeah. Wouldn't be the worst thing to happen in Waco. 53 as well, Winston Churchill criticized U.S. Secretary of State John Foster Dull's domino theory, and I'd like to know more about that domino theory, but our internet's being a piece of shit. 55, Israel attacks Gaza. Why? Because Gaza is alive, because they have the audacity to exist, Israel has to wipe them out? Well, what's going on? 56, Elvis Presley's first entry on UK charts with Heartbreak Hotel. Yeah. 59, New York Yankees catcher Yogi Berra's errorless streak of 148 games ended.
He used to say a bunch of weird stuff, so now there are yogi-isms.
Yes, we've spoken about them, like hurry up and wait, and things like that. 1960, French liner that France was launched. I just thought that was cool. Why not talk about that? It was like,
French liner France.
It was an ocean liner.
Yeah, I know.
Named France, from French.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I mean, we have a USS United States. I'm sure Germany has a whatever their call sign is, Germany, and it only makes sense to have a ship named after your own country. I mean, 1960 as well, Israeli soldiers captured Adolf Eichmann in Buenos Aires. Mossad.
Yeah.
Oh, yep.
Yeah.
62, U.S. sent troops to Thailand. Why are we going to Thailand? Communism?
Probably.
Oh.
The domino theory, we just talked about that.
Very true.
That was very prominent in the 60s.
Yeah.
Hey, I know them.
You do?
Not personally, no.
Well, 1963, Puff the Magic Dragon. Single by Peter, Paul, and Mary hit number 2. Peter Yarrow adapted a poem that college classmate Lenny Lipton had left behind after borrowing Yarrow's typewriter. Oh. magic dragon live by the
I
sea.
wonder if they're all still alive.
I don't think so. I mean,
No.
this was 80 years ago. No, not
No,
80. 60 years ago. So if they
40,
if they
50,
were
60 years ago.
if they were 20, they'd be 80 years old right now.
Yeah.
I
Well,
don't.
I'm alive.
True, but you weren't 20 and 65, were you? But you're
Uh,
approaching.
Yeah, I was. I was actually older than that.
Okay, so they might still be alive. Yeah.
I don't know how old they were.
I don't
They may have
either.
been 30 then.
I don't have a clue. I would look it up if our internet wasn't a pile of horse shit. So, 63 LA Dodgers.
Got to be a pony in there somewhere.
Yeah. 63 as well. LA Dodgers pitcher Sandy Koufax. Koufax. I keep
Koufax. Don't insult him.
Well, I don't
Insult
know how.
me. Koufax.
Well, I mean, I don't want to insult you, but I might pepper you. Well, no, I'm making a joke.
I get it.
Instead
I
of
get
salt,
it, I
pepper,
get it,
you know,
I
then I'll
get it.
pepper you.
Yeah, I'm sorry I said anything.
You should be.
Salt and pepper.
His second career no-hitter defeated Juan Martial and the San Francisco Giants 8-0.
Now, Juan Marichal was also a great pitcher.
Ah. We also have a racial bomb attacked at Birmingham, Alabama. Racial bombs. What makes a bomb racial? Like,
Well, you're bombing racial.
Yeah.
You're racially.
Yeah.
You're bombing something because of race.
yeah. Secondary source, it was removed, but I still have it here. Racist bombings in Birmingham, Alabama disrupted nonviolence in the Birmingham campaign and precipitated a crisis involving federal troops. Yikes. 65, first of 2 cyclones in less than a month killed 35,000 people in India. Holy crap, dude. 65 as well, Bangladesh windstorm killed 17,000.
Jeez.
By wind, what? Are they getting?
Oh, the wind.
Yeah, are they getting blown into a freaking
I
wood
don't
chipper?
know.
What's happening?
Well, stuff collapses.
weird.
Maybe. Blows over on them.
65, Ellis Island was added to the Statue of Liberty National Monument.
Oh,
I guess
okay.
that's because they're no longer, they moved their.
Well, it's a national monument. That's where millions of people millions of immigrants came in legally.
Well, yeah, but they could have still been using it. But what I'm saying is, I
don't
think they
think so.
moved their office. Is what I'm saying. That's why it became a part of the.
Yeah.
Because it's no longer a functioning
Right,
immigration
right.
center
Yes,
because
yes,
they
that's
have
right.
another one on
That's
the
right.
mainland. That's what I'm getting at.
Okay.
65 as well. West Indies became the first holders of the Frank Worrell Cricket Trophy. Yeah. Actually, I'm gonna. I have to play a cricket sound. Where is it? Okay, well, it's just not gonna work because my internet's being a crap. Oh, there we go. Oh, wow. We're probably gonna get like a lot of random cricket noises here any moment.
Soon.
Yeah. Where is? Oh, here it is. I'm trying to find any comments. We do not have any comments yet. Moving on up. 1965. We got that one. 1967. The 100 millionth U.S. phone was connected. 100 millionth U.S. telephone.
Yeah.
67 as well. Great Britain, Ireland, and Denmark applied for membership of the EEC. And I think, what is that, the European Economic Commission or something? I would look it up, but
yeah.
once again, it's stupid internet. 68, Irish actor Richard Harris released single in MacArthur Park. It became a million seller, topping the charts in Canada and Australia, and peaking at number 2 in the US and number 4 in the UK. I started freaking out. I started hearing a weird noise, and then it was coming from the computer. The crickets finally made their noise. Wow. 68, students and police battled in Paris. Hundreds were injured. Over what? What's happening? Maybe protests involving Vietnam? I mean...
68, that's kind of late. It could be.
Well, I mean...
Yeah. That could be. Still
Well,
going.
no, France was already out of Vietnam by then.
Well, France was, but...
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this is Paris.
Yeah.
For Paris is in France.
They wouldn't be doing that for Vietnam.
68 as well, Toronto Transit Commission opened the largest expansion of its Bloor-Danforth line, going to Scarborough in the east and Etiboki in the west. All right. 1969 as well. British comedy troupe Monty Python formed, made up of Graham Chapman, John Cleese, Terry Gilliam, Eric Idle, Terry Jones, and Michael Palin. Huh. We also have 1970, The Long and Winding Road became Beatles' last U.S. Single release.
Don't even remember it.
Henry Mara was murdered in a violent, racially motivated crime in Oxford, North Carolina. How do we know it's racially motivated? Oh.
Well, they didn't tell us
Yeah.
why, but there's obviously reason behind it.
Or is it just, bullshit to push an agenda to make evil
Anything's
things happen?
possible.
So, 1970, the 1970 Lubbock tornado killed 26 people and caused $250 million in damage.
Where was it?
Lovelock.
Ludlow.
Lubbock.
Texas.
Oh, okay. Are you sure? Because there could be a Lubbock somewhere else. I mean, there's Ontario, Canada, and Ontario, California. There's a Paris in Texas.
Yeah.
There's a Memphis in Tennessee.
Portland, Oregon, Portland, Maine. You can go on forever.
Yeah. 72, John Lennon said his phone was tapped by FBI on the Dick Cavett show.
Dick Cavett.
Cavett, okay. 72, Ukrainian psychiatrist Semyon Gluzman was arrested, or Semyon Gluzman was arrested by Soviet police for anti-Soviet agitation and propaganda. That would do it. 73, citing government misconduct, Daniel Ellsberg had his charges for his involvement in releasing the Pentagon Papers to the New York Times dismissed. Now, what were the Pentagon Papers?
I forget what was in them, but something. Top secret stuff or something.
Okay. 74, ABC Records released Steely Dan single Ricky Don't Lose That Number from the Pretzel Logic album. It peaks at number 4 in the U.S., making it their biggest hit. Now, do you remember where they got their name from?
I do not know. I'd like to know that.
We've covered this before, and, I'm going to try one more time. No, it's just not going to load. Okay. So, anybody out there, look this up if you don't believe me, but Steely Dan...
Good group.
The name is... taken from a book. I think it might have been a science fiction book. I'm not sure. But anyway, in this book, there was a giant mechanical dildo called Steely Dan.
Oh.
And it's an obscure book and everything, but that's where they got their name from. They're literally named after a fictitious mechanized prophylactic. Well, not prophylactic, but
No.
marital aid, I guess. So. That's wild, huh?
Yeah. That's funny.
Yep. 75, Israel signed an agreement with European Economic Market. I wonder what that entails. He just says that they signed something. 77, Ted Turner managed an Atlanta Braves game. I had no idea he did that. So
he owned him.
Yeah. It says here, now it says that MLB team owner Ted Turner managed an Atlanta Braves baseball game.
Yeah.
78, Margaret A. Brewer was the first female general in the U.S. Marine Corps. Excellent. Was she a Marine, though? Because they didn't let women train to be Marines until more recently, right? So how is she a female? How is a female, without going through being a Marine, could lead Marines? Or was she put there because she's a female and they're trying to be,
I have no idea.
They're trying to be politically correct.
How the Marines work.
1980, MLB Philadelphia Phillies Pete Rose, at the age of 39, stole second, third, and home in the same inning.
Jeez.
Wow. 81, Andrew Lloyd Webber's musical Cats, based on poetry by T.S. Eliot, directed by Trevor Noone, opened at the New London Theatre in the West End, London, running for 8,949 performances. That sounds rather jellical, if that makes any sense. 1983, Comet C 1983 H1, the IRAS-Iraqi Alcock approached 0.0312 AUs, or astronomical units, of Earth. Do you know what an astronomical unit is?
I know it's an astronomical unit, but I don't know what derives it.
The distance.
I forgot.
The distance between the Sun and the Earth is one astronomical unit.
I didn't know it was the moon or the sun.
No, the Sun and the Earth.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I believe.
Okay.
So basically, basically came in 3/100ths of an astronomical unit. So that's pretty close.
So, a third of the distance to the sun.
Well, no, that would be 3
3
tenths.
units. Yeah.
No, this is 0.03.
So it'd be 3 times the distance of the sun is how close it came to us.
No, 3 times less.
3 units.
No, okay. 0.03.
Okay, 0. Okay, a point. Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Okay, but
that doesn't make it longer than 1 unit. It's less than a unit.
That's what I said initially.
You said 1/3. That's 3/10. This is 3/100ths.
I didn't know there was an extra 0. Yeah.
Yes. 1984, Tiger set best 30 game start record 26-4. That sounds incredible.
Yeah.
We also have the transit of Earth as seen from Mars. Why the hell do we care about that?
What, the transit?
The transit, I explained it to you the other day. On Earth, the transit of Mercury would be when you see Mercury transiting across the sun.
Oh, that's right.
So if you're standing on Mars, you would have seen the transit of Earth. But why are we documenting? That's weird. 56 people died and at least 265 more were injured at Bradford City Football Ground in the worst fire in English football history. Wow. Secondary source says, just more than 200 are injured. So, 200 to 265. So at least 265. So we have a discrepancy already. They're both saying at least, and one's saying 200, one's saying 265.
Well, yeah.
65 is a lot of injuries to be a discrepancy.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
85, a booby trap bomb killed 86 people in India. Yikes. That's horrible. 1985 as well, Pope John Paul II arrival in Netherlands marred by violent protests. Why are they protesting him in the Netherlands? That's weird. Ayo's time!
Yeah. Hey!
And actually, for the first time in a while...
Something decent besides...
Yes. Besides some kind of death or something. Yeah. Well, depending on how squeamish you are, we have the first heart-lung transplant took place in Baltimore.
Whoa.
That's pretty big.
Yeah.
So, but here we go, going right back down the tube. We also have in 1987 the trial of former Gestapo commandant Klaus Barbie, the Butcher of Lyon, began in France for war crimes during World War II.
Let's go to the Barbie
Let's go to the Barbie Museum. Do they have a bathroom? So, if anybody watched what's the movie?
I don't know.
Rat Race.
That's it.
Yeah. It's the stupidest good movie. It's so dumb, but it's actually decent.
They made a dumb movie work.
Yeah.
That's what they did.
Yeah. Too bad that bitch Karen or Whoopi Goldberg, was in it. So
I don't even remember her, but there were a lot of people in it.
She played the mother of the other black lady who was in there, and then in their own little path they came across that weird squirrel lady, and then they ended up stealing. They ended up stealing a speed car along the Arizona flats or whatever.
They stole all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Now, Whoopi Goldberg, I don't care. Good person, bad person, doesn't matter.
Oh, she's horrible.
Okay. Still did some pretty good roles in different movies.
I'll
give her credit for her acting.
So did Arnold Schwarzenegger, and he says that screw your freedoms.
Yeah.
So fuck him.
Well, I'm talking as an actor or actress. She was pretty damn good.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, none of that makes any difference. She's a piece of shit.
Well, I'm not talking the person. I'm talking about her craft.
Yeah, well. 89, 217th and final episode of TV soap opera Dynasty was aired, but now it's saying 220th. So where do they squeeze another 3 episodes out of? It's weird. Kenya announced worldwide ban on ivory to preserve its elephant herds, and look at that. They're burning all the tusks and everything. So... And now, there's all sorts of anti-poaching things. Rhino horns. They go out and they paint them pink or whatever, or something. All sorts of stuff. So, 1989 as well. U.S. President George Herbert Walker Bush ordered 1,900 additional troops to Panama. Why are we going to Panama?
Again, Panama.
Yeah. 92, the film adaptation of Mbogane Nguma and Hu Masagala's anti-apartheid musical Sarafina, starring Leleti Kuhuno, Miriam Makeba. Ironic that we just spoke about her, Whoopi Goldberg. Premiered at Cannes Film Festival in France. 94, Naked Gun 33 and a third, The Final Insult, released in France. France, it's a weird place to be released.
Yeah.
And we saw the reboot of it. Well, not really a reboot, it's a continuation, because Liam Neeson plays the role of the son of that guy that we just saw.
Oh.
Leslie Nielsen. We saw it in theaters.
I don't remember.
You don't remember seeing the remake of Naked Gun in theaters?
I do not.
Wow.
It didn't impress me, obviously.
Well, it was meh, but... 95, more than 170 countries agreed to extend the nuclear non-proliferation treaty indefinitely and without conditions to prevent the spread of nuclear weapons. I agree with that. And I almost skipped over this. Let's go back a year. 6 white racists were sentenced to death in South Africa. Well, now in South Africa, there's a lot of blacks who hate whites. They're killing them in droves down there, last I heard. So
there's some problems down there.
Yeah. 96... ValueJet DC-9 crashed in Miami. 109 died. That's a whatever article. I wasn't going to mark that, but other source says after the aircraft's departure from Miami, a fire started by improperly handled chemical oxygen generators in the cargo hold of Atlanta-bound ValueJet Airlines Flight 592, caused the Douglas DC-9 to crash into the Florida Everglades, killing all 110 on board.
They were, if my memory serves correct, so it could be wrong, they were improperly carrying cargo of those CO2 or whatever they are on a passenger plane.
Oh, stupid!
So that they were carrying
that's dumb.
Cargo.
That's dumb.
And don't quote me. That's from memory. So
yeah. Well, considering how you don't remember watching The Naked Gun more recently, I'll take what you remember from farther away with a little bit of salt. So.
How about pepper?
1977, Deep Blue, a chess-playing supercomputer, defeated Garry Kasparov in the last game of the rematch, becoming the first computer to beat a world champion chess player in a classic match format.
Yeah,
all right.
Pretty good. I always thought they...
our internet's gone. Okay, so is it back? Nope. Oh. Well, we might not be streaming anymore, but at least we're still recording. So. Moving on up, 1998, India conducted 3 underground nuclear tests in Pokhran, including a thermonuclear device. That's kind of scary. 2000, India's population officially reached 1 billion people. Astra Aurora named India's billionth baby. Symbolically, we spoke about that yesterday.
Yeah.
2002, Princess Margaret of the Netherlands unveiled the Man with Two Hats monument in Ottawa and Apeldoorn, symbolically linking both the Netherlands and Canada for their assistance throughout World War II. We spoke about this back on the first one. Like, we covered this. Ottawa and Apeldoorn, Netherlands and Canada. So she went to one and unveiled that one, and then this is the second time she unveiled the other one to fully complete that. So, 2004, explosion at ICL Plastics factory killed 9 workers, injures nearly 3 dozen, and destroyed the 4-story building in Woodside district of Glasgow, Scotland. Cause was later determined to be related to leaky petroleum piping. 2007, Pope Benedict XVI canonized the first Brazilian-born saint, Fray Galvão. 2008, Spanish-U.S. singer Charo, 57, ? I guess, like, they don't know his exact age. That's weird. Made a guest appearance on the Latin-themed VH1 reality show Viva Hollywood.
I believe it was she, Charo.
Oh, Charo. Okay.
Charo is how you pronounce it, I believe.
All right. 2009, a U.S. soldier in Iraq opened fire on a counseling center at Camp Liberty in Baghdad, leaving 5 other U.S. soldiers dead and 3 wounded. 3 soldiers wounded. Wow, what the hell? Like, I guess, like PTSD or something? So, 2009, Space Shuttle Atlantis was launched on the final mission to service the Space Hubble Telescope. Or the Hubble Space Telescope. So, 2010, David Cameron became the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom after forming a coalition government between the Liberal Democrats and his own Conservative Party. Forming the first coalition government since the Second World War. That's what we need more of. We need to work together, you know? Yeah. 2012, Chinese scientists broke world record by transferring photons over 97 kilometers using quantum teleportation. Like, you know, we're teleporting shit on the... Wow. It's a quantum level. You've heard of the quantum realm and everything. Yeah. That's not really something, you know, just in the MCU. Like, there really is physics. Like you go down to a certain miniatureness, and the laws of physics start no longer applying. You're essentially in a micro universe that is within our own universe, just incomprehensibly small. You know, like... And that's how they're teleporting things. Like, you know, it's some kind of energy. So, like, it's small stuff, but they're still teleporting mass. Yeah. So, 2013 as well, Barcelona won its 4th La Liga title in 4 years. So, 1 for each year. We also have Bayern Munich set a new Bundesliga record, points record of 91. What's Bundesliga? Bundesliga?
I don't know if you're going to get it.
I don't know. It almost sounds like a slur. So, 2014, thousands protested against the construction of a waste incineration plant in Hangzhou, China. Yeah, we don't want to pump crap up into the air. 2014 as well, 15 people were killed and 46 were injured in Kenosha in a stampede caused by a tear gas being thrown into soccer stands by police officers. I think we spoke about that yesterday.
I don't remember.
Or something, like,
Yeah.
in a stampede or something. So
Human stampede.
Yeah.
Is really dangerous.
yeah. 2015, a record price for a work of art at auction. Picasso's The Woman of Algiers version O sold for 179.3 million US dollars at Christie's in New York. And I'd love to go see it, but I'd love to look it up at least, you know, this article, but I can't. Our internet's straight up red now. We are offline officially. 2016, Brazilian Senate voted to suspend President Dilma Rousseff and put her on trial for budgetary violations. Good. 2016 as well, we got that one. 2018. Here we go. Mass murder suicide in Margaret River, Australia. Grandfather shot 6 members of a family and himself, of his family.
Yeah.
So, jeez, man. 2018 as well. Most popular names in the U.S. for 2017 revealed as Emma for girls, Liam for boys. Huh. Okay. 2019, U.S. actress and, hashtag, # me too. I always found it ironic. Pound me too, really? You people are so stupid, you don't even realize what you're saying. Activist Alyssa Milano urged women to go on a sex strike after Georgia passed a new abortion law. 2019, carbon dioxide levels in the Earth's atmosphere hit levels not seen for 3 million years at 415 parts per million, according to the Mauna Loa Observatory in Hawaii. We also have South African parliamentary elections returned ruling Cyril Ramaphosa's ANC, the African National Party, to power with reduced majority at 58%. Huh. So they're reducing the power of the ANC?
Sounds like it.
I guess that's fair. But yeah, I'm just concerned. I don't want apartheid coming back or anything. That's just a little concerning there. 2020, Colombian airline Avianca, and world's second oldest, became the first major airline to file for bankruptcy due to Kung flu. All right. We also have the World Health Organization warned, quote, extreme vigilance, end quote, was needed as many countries began easing lockdowns. Oh, shut up, World Health Organization, and your Chinese kowtowing. What were you going to say?
No, nothing.
Okay. Speaking of China, the censored figures... census. China's census figures, I can't read today, showed the country's population at 1.41 billion people, growth as the slowest since 1960s, plus 0.53, down from plus 0.57.
Of course, you know what...
the whole one-child policy and all that crap.
1960s, that was the whole thing.
Yeah. There's actually a theory saying that China actually has half, if not less, of their claimed population.
What?
Has half, if not less, of their claimed population because what's weird...
Half's a lot. But...
Well, no, here's the thing. What's weird is that China's population has been growing more or less akin to how the rest of the world, has been growing.
Yeah.
But China had the one-child policy, and they because of that they were killing their daughters and everything.
Yeah.
So
they got out of balance.
But then how are their numbers still going up with the amount of when the discrepancy or not the disproportionate numbers of men versus women do not support that number of procreation? Something's off. So. 2021, first major U.S. offshore wind farm off the coast of Massachusetts approved by the Brandon administration. All right. We also have Northern Ireland request into 1971 Ballymurphy killing of 10 people found people were innocent and killed, 9 by soldiers using unjustified force. So they look back and did they have nothing better to do than to look back 50 years? I mean, it's cool that they found out people were innocent, but I mean put the taxpayer money to something that'll actually, benefit somebody. 2022, Al Jazeera journalist Shirin Abu Akleh was shot and killed by Israeli forces in the city of Jenin in the West Bank. Other source says Palestinian U.S. journalist, there we go, because she was a Palestinian, they murdered her. Shirin Abu Akleh was killed while covering a raid in Jenin. Israel eventually admitted and apologized for the murder after initial denials. I keep saying they want a genocide. Israel, they're trying to genocide Palestine. I don't know how much more screaming in the face people need, but apparently a lot. 2022, Costa Rica declared a state of emergency after a ransomware attack infiltrated and crippled several government agencies. Yee. What do you want to bet that that's from internally, just to push some kind of narrative or something? We also have the first ever U.S. government report into Indian boarding school deaths was released, not yet complete. Documents more than 500 deaths across 400 schools and 50 grave sites over 150 years. Boarding schools.
What the heck is that all about?
I guess they were just killing children or something. You know what a boarding school is, right?
Of course I do.
Yeah. I guess, maybe, they were lower in status, societally, or they had one or no parents, so they just killed them,
Okay, are we talking about the country India, or are we talking about the Indians here? Indian.
Yeah.
So it's Indian schools.
Well, U.S. government report into Indian boarding school. Oh, maybe Native American boarding school.
Yeah, that's
You're
what I'm
right.
thinking. Yeah, okay.
So, yeah. We also have the Burmese military executed at least 37 villagers during the Tiang Pin massacre in Sagyanging, Myanmar. And last but not least, we have a rare strong solar storm reached Earth, prompting the U.S. National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration to issue a geomagnetic storm warning. We spoke about this yesterday. The middle of the May 2025 solar storm is the most powerful set of geomagnetic storms since the 2003 Halloween solar storms. Yeah, I remember that from yesterday. Anyway, that shall conclude the show. Once again, please check the underbar in the description below for any links that you may find interesting, including but not limited to all things Omni Coalition. A lot of history has been... Oh, my cricket's still going. Wow. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did. What the hell? And it was gone just as fast as it was there. Cricket.
Anyway, yeah, we can only bring you a portion between two sources, so we've gone through all of this 31 pages of documents. So yeah, for your dose of Past Events Daily, we stream at 5 p.m. Pacific Time, 6 Mountain, 7 Central, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, respectively. For all of you and all of us, I'm Xander.
Golden Loon.
And UVRU, thank you so much for coming in and watching us. We're obviously not live, so yeah. Until you catch us next time, whenever that is, wherever that is, don't forget to look right and left at every intersection, rate 5 thumbs, and subscribe. Toodles! Alright.
So this is just crapping out. That's all there is
Yes,
to
it
it.
is.